my reference photo as well. And up here, it's colours. I've got some Watercolour 2s. I used a Stabilo woody. Hello creative souls, and welcome to this week's video. This week I thought I would do some autumnal birch trees as we're heading towards the end of November and the end of the autumn season. So what I've done is found a reference photograph, a free one from Pixabay, which I have put onto my photos on the iPad. I will put a picture up for you so you can see it, but I thought I would paint, I'd do like a mixed media piece today. Rather than in my sketchbook, I thought I would do it on this bamboo mixed media paper. This is by Hannah. So I'll show you all the mixed media bits and pieces I've got on my desk, and then it's just going to be a messy session that might inspire you to create your own birch trees. So grab a cup of tea and come and join me for this week's session in the studio. So I haven't really got a plan for this session, so I've just grabbed all the materials that I thought I might use today. So I've got some Brusho. I don't know if you've ever used Brusho before, but it's like tiny little watercolour crystals or granules that create such an amazing effect once you add water to them. I have picked out some tube paints, a mixture of Daniel Smith. I've got Winsor & Newton in here as well, and I've tried to pick out all the autumnal colours. I'll leave the list of the colours I use in the description below. I've got my trusty Neocolor 2s, and there's some autumnal colours in here that I might use. I've got my Stabilo woodies. I have got some Daler Rowney ink in sepia. I've got my Mister bottle today because I'm going to have to make the page wet for the Brusho to sort of spread out. I'll show you what I mean later. It's absolutely amazing. I have got my Schminky Horadam granulating watercolours. Again, lots of autumnal colours in here. I've got a piece of bamboo. I thought that might be good for making some marks. Got my mixing palette. I've got cling film. I've got a sponge. I've got masking tape. This isn't to put around the edge of the paper. This is to do the birch trees. This is going to be really exciting. This is like a little hack for you. And I've got some masking tape that I will put round the edge of this paper. I've put down my mat today because, like I say, it could get messy. So I'm going to start by taking a piece of paper off of this block, masking around the edge, and then I'm going to show you how to do the background and the birch trees. Right, so now I've taped everything down. Looking at my reference photo, this isn't going to be too fussy at all, but I'm going to just put the sort of horizon line in, and I'm going to have like a path going through the trees, like so. That is literally it. You can hardly even see it. And I'm going to show you how to do the birch trees because this is the most exciting bit. So with the masking tape, this isn't very good masking tape, look, it's splitting already. Okay, right, so my trees are going to be uneven. I'm not going to be too precious, so I've literally taken a length of masking tape and I'm peeling down like so, And then what I'm going to do is stick on my birch tree like so. Now we don't really want a straight edge, so it's peeling it in such a way that you don't get that straight edge, which is easier said than done. But as I said, we're not being too precious. Okay, and I'm going to continue like that. I'm going to do some birch trees with some branches coming off as well. And like I say, they're not going to be perfect. They are just going to be stress-free birch trees. And we're sort of following it like so. We do some little branches that come off. Oh. And I guess the further away these birch trees go, the sort of thinner they get. But that is easier said than done. Right, so far so good. Should we do a little branch up this way? Right, I'm going to carry on with this. Right, so that's my birch trees done. I have got a wax resist crayon. You could use a candle as well if you want to. And in the background, I am just going to do some sort of lines to make it look like trees. Again, I don't know how this is going to come out. This is the beauty of mixed media. But these are sort of the trees in the distance. We don't want them straight. We want wobbly lines. I don't know how they're going to come out because I can't actually see what I'm doing. So this is the beauty of mixed media. It's one big experiment. Right, now I'm going to do the background. I've re-put the path back in. It's really hard for me not to fiddle. Anyway, I've got some nice clean water here. And I am literally going to make this all wet. And I'm going to put a variety of colours down. So I've got a really big brush. And I'm going to put the water on. And then just drop some paint in. And like I say, not get too fussy. So go up to the horizon line. And let's pick some autumnal colours for the path. So I've got some Venetian red, some Aussie red gold, and I might go with some gold ochre. I'm just going to get a pointy paintbrush. Because I'm not going to bother putting this on the palette. I am literally going to drop it in making sure that page is nice and wet. And I just love how this colour granulates and spreads on the water. There we go. Let's get another colour in there. And you just literally let it do its thing. I think I might get some sepia in there as well. Oh, this is a nice one. Burnt Tiger's Eye Genuine. And I might put this sort of around the base of the trees. So it doesn't look like they're stood in midair. And then hopefully that will just all smush together. Let me get the mister, because what I'm going to do now is drop. What colour shall I go? Let's see if we've got. There we go. Look at that Brusho doing its thing. Let's do another spray. There we go. I'm just going to let that do its thing. Okay, so I've just dried that off with my heat tool, and I've just found my old colour chart for the Brusho, because I'm thinking about how I'm going to do the top. This is just sort of evolving naturally, which is what art should be about. This is an experiment that I'm sharing with you. I'm just looking on here, and I'm looking at my reference photo as well. And up here is like lemon yellows going down into some oranges and even a little bit of leaf green. So I think what I'm going to do is do a washy background with like a wash of watercolour, and then I'm going to drop in some Brusho and just see what it does. So in my little autumnal palette box, I have got this Winsor & Newton transparent yellow. So what I'm going to do is put a wash of water down, and then I'm going to drop in some yellow and just see what it looks like. So big brush, clean water, and I'm just going to go over the top. I might even use my spritzer in a minute and get it nice and wet. Oh, I've got a dog hair there. That's always nice. That's part of mixed media, isn't it? Dog hair. Dog hair and cat hair. Not that I've got a cat, but I expect some of you watching have got a cat. And as we know, cat hair does get everywhere, and cats are harder to control than doggies. Right, I'm just sort of moving my head to just check that I've got the page covered with water. I'm dipping my brush straight into the transparent yellow, and I'm sort of looking at the reference photo. That's almost like, oh, what's the colour I'm thinking of? I can't think of the colour. It'll come to me, I'm sure. Do you know, words just escape me at the moment. I don't know what's going on with my brain. I do get brain fog, which is part of having RA. That word will come to me. And I think it's probably of being a certain age as well for a lady. Right, I'm just going to spritz again. Okay, so I'm going to go in, looking at my chart, I'm going to go in with the yellow first of all. I'm going to give it a light sprinkling at the top and see what happens. Oh, I was a bit heavy-handed there, but... And then a little bit of orange. I don't know if you can see yet, but the wax crayon that I put on the page is obviously resisting the colour. And looking fab. So that's yellow, orange. Let's go with some lemon, see what happens. And I think with this Brusho, you have to be liberal with the water to make it spread. Oh, this is so exciting. Now I've got some paint here on the side. I'm just gonna try and connect the top with the bottom, if that makes sense. So lots of water. And I think I'm going to get a piece of kitchen roll. Kitchen roll. Just tap away. I need some more orange. Yeah, you can never have enough orange. Let's go up in this corner with orange. Down here a little bit to tie it all together. Right, and we just need to leave it to do its thing. Right, this is all dry now, and so the next stage is to peel off the masking tape. The only thing is I don't know how well it's going to come off. So what I'm going to do is use my heat tool to heat up the masking tape, and hopefully it will peel off without lifting the paper underneath. There we go. The masking tape has been taken off. This section here, the masking tape was still a little bit damp, so it did lift the paper. So the heat tool was really needed, or if you're impatient like me, then yes, a hairdryer would work as well. So it really does need to be fully dry. Well, the background's done and obviously the trees are in place. So now I'm going to work on the trees. I'm just going to put some detail on the branches using my Schminky Horadam paint. I'm not sure what colour this is. I'll try and find out for you, but I'm just going to get a really watery mix. And on each one, I'm just going to go up and work on it and sort of put some texture on, make it look like the bark. You know how the birch trees have bark on it that sort of peels away and leaves that sort of quite dark underneath. So I'm just going to sit here and do that. Now I want to do some like branches, and I've got this Liquitex acrylic ink in muted grey, so I thought this would probably be better should I say, than the sepia. So all I'm going to do, you could either do it with the end. I don't know how much control that will give you. It's sort of trying not to be too fussy. Or you could do it with a twig. I've got this piece of bamboo, and you can just go in and make some marks. Now what I did want to do is sort of do some extra branches coming off of these trees, but I'm sort of not confident in how to do it, so I might do that with my paintbrush. But I'm just literally going to go make some marks. Like I say, try not to be too precious. Use my dip pen a little bit just to make those marks, and this is the bit that should be fun. And you can just about see in the background the wax resist. Back here. So this is just giving the impression of sort of trees in the background. Now I'm just going to go in with some Stabilo Woodies, the brown one, just to give the foreground a little bit of texture. We've sort of lost the path coming through here, but like I say, I'm just not going to get too fussy. I just don't want to fuss. This is meant to be for enjoyment, not to, you know, get stressed and fussy and just quick, fast movements. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm resisting putting on any CPS splats. Obviously, you might want some CPS splats on yours, but I'm trying not to overwork it. So I'm just going to take off the washi tape now, and then I'm going to put a little border around it and just show you how lovely your painting can look with a frame around it at the end. I found a frame, not a very flat frame. This is just one that I've got in stock, not one that I would use for a serious piece, but it just shows you how different the painting can look with a frame around it. And obviously you can position it to find the best angle, is that the right word, to make your painting pop. Thank you for joining me in this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a like, comment and subscribe. And as usual, thank you for watching.